Good morning everyone, thank you for joining me here in the garden today. It's currently the long weekend, so I have another extra day to do some gardening, which I'm very excited about. Also, winter has begun, so there is little to do in the garden now, and I have got a new project. I'm going to be doing my worm farm again. I actually did have a worm farm a couple of years ago, and I don't know what happened. I just stopped doing it after a while, but I thought this would be the perfect time to start it up again. So there it is, covered in all this bush. I've got so much cleaning up to do, but that is it. I haven't fed it or done anything with it, so I'm not too sure if there'll even be worms in it, but we can open it and see, I guess. Hopefully it looks fine inside. Okay, I'm just gonna open it. I'm scared. Okay, ready? Oh. Ooh. There's no worms that I can see so far. That is really cool though. Look, there's something growing there. This all used to be food, and as you can tell, there's now soil. And that's what the worms do. They break down food to create essentially worm poo. And look, so I can now use that in the garden. With these worm farms, there's usually 3 layers, so 1, 2, 3. This layer is where you collect all the liquid. Second layer, pretty sure like that's their bedding where they poo. And then the top layer is where you pop in all your scraps for them to eat. So I've just desectioned it all. So that's top layer, second and bottom layer. As you can tell, all this stuff is worm poo and worm castings, as the professional word is for it. So I can put that in the garden now. Usually this is where all the liquid and wee go, so it's usually just liquid. And then there's a little tap that you open up and the liquid will come out, but obviously nothing's coming out because it hasn't been fed or had any attention to. What I'm going to do is I'm probably going to clean this all out, and then we'll pretend it's a brand new worm farm to create. Look what I have just found. I'm very proud of myself for keeping this because it's been a hot minute since I've done it. So I'm just going to read through this and make sure that I know what I'm doing and know what I need to buy from Bunnings. But this is a really handy book. It goes through like step by step. Here are the worms. Hopefully they're alive in there, but I'm sure they will be. Okay. How cool is this? If you don't have enough space for a worm farm, you put this in the ground and put the food in the top, and it does it all for you. How cool. This is my favourite part of the whole of Bunnings, the seeds. Look what I found, $2 grapes. I'm very tempted to get it. Okay, here are my worms. I'm very excited. First of all, I need to clean the worm farm first, and then we can put them in. I've just spent like 10 minutes looking for this spade, but I finally found it. So this is just one of the layers of the worm farm. It's very dry. Worms like moist conditions, so this is probably another reason why there are no worms in here, because it isn't very moist, the soil. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this out into this garden just for some composting. I'll put this second tray in. You can see that there's some leftover eggshells. That's alright, they'll break down even more. Okay, so I've just bought a new bucket for this, for collecting the worm wee, the worm juice, some people would say. And what I'm going to do, this is a worm farming bedding block, and I am just going to put water in this to help with the bedding for my new worms. Apparently you can also add the packaging that it's in. Spread your worms on top. Worms do not like direct light, so to enhance the settling in process, leave the lid off the worm farm. Leave the lid off the worm farm off until no worms are visible. Okay. So I guess we'll just pop everything in this bucket and add some water to it. So nice and sunny today. Okay, so this is a 10-litre bucket, so I'm just going to add it halfway because you only need to add 5 litres of water for it to expand. Tiny bit more. Leave it there. Oh gosh, it's really heavy. Okay, so that's just going to expand now. So while that expands, I am going to now cut up some cardboard just to place at the bottom and top of the worm beds. This cardboard is left over from my no dig beds, which is really good. I'm happy that I had some left over because I don't have any paper bags, which is like recommended to use. Scissors are probably not the best for this, but so it says in the instructions that you only give them one layer for 3 to 6 months, which is crazy. That's like summer. So I'm just going to use this layer, I guess. I'm just going to cover the bottom with this cardboard like they advise you to. And then we're going to pop that peat moss on the top, and then we can assemble it and put the worms in. So I'm going to check if this is ready yet. It's looking good. I just like to mix it in to make the process go a bit faster because I'm very impatient. So this is how it looks when it's all expanded. And now it is ready to go into the worm farm. Okay, so it's in the shade now, which worms like to be in. Bring over this peat moss, and I'm just going to pop it on the top. Ooh. Gosh, this gets heavy. It's nice and moist, which worms like, and it's in a shaded position. Now we've got to put the worms in. Let's do it. There you go. Oh my goodness. I should probably be wearing gloves for this. But all my gloves that I have holes in them. So I think we're just going to try to do this barehanded. I need gloves. When I got them last time, the packaging was closed, but the package seems to be opened. I can see a couple of worms on the side here, so that's a good sign. Let's get them out. Come on. Perfect. Might just cut the side. Don't want to cut any worms though. I don't know if I should show you guys these worms. I know some people don't like worms. I might show you. So if you don't like worms, you can look away now. Can you see? They're all along this plastic bit. They're huge. And then there was another one somewhere over here. How exciting though. At least I've got 2 that I can see. You can see some in the soil there. This is so exciting. So, as it's winter as well, they said it's obviously slower production, which I totally understand, which is fine. But we can put them into the ground now. Look at them. Oh my goodness. Let's tip this back upside down. hopefully they like their new home. Okay, ready? Oh my goodness, I see so many worms. Oh my goodness. So now what it says is just to leave it without a lid until you can't see the worms on the topsoil. But I think what I'll do is I'm just gonna level it out just a fraction. Guys, there are so many worms. Oh my goodness, this is so exciting. I'm just gonna gently put them down just a bit. Ooh. That worm is like white and red. That's crazy. These worm eggs? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna put them over up here just for their new home. There's a little wormy there. And there's one there. Can you see them? If you look really closely, you can see them. Now, the only issue I had with it last time is they all fell into this spot, this below level, the liquid layer, and then they all came out of the spout. So hopefully, if I do this correctly, that doesn't happen this time, because that was, obviously I was doing something wrong. I don't really know what happened and why they were doing that, but hopefully that doesn't happen this time. So now they say you don't need to add the second layer till 3 to 6 months later. So I'm just gonna pop on a top layer of cardboard, leave them for 2 days, and then I think I'm going to begin to feed them my scraps. Now I'm not expecting any liquid now, but I'm just gonna pop this bucket under there just to be safe. It's a bit taller than the actual length, the height of this, so it kind of is off the ground, but that's okay. Okay guys, so I've got the lid on them now. I'm going to leave them as they are. It says in the instructions to leave them for 2 days and then you can start to feed them, I'm pretty sure. I have to double check that. I'm going to leave them as they are and probably take you along to feed them for the first time. But besides that, worm farming is really, really easy. I think you just have to be very consistent and treat them like a pet. I obviously didn't, and that's why they're in the state that they are, but I'm determined to give it another shot. If you're looking for a cheaper alternative, you can actually go to Facebook Marketplace. There are actually people selling worms as well as these worm farms. Heaps of people are selling worm farms. You can see them on the hard rubbish when it's like hard rubbish collection. So there's obviously, if you want something cheaper than Bunnings, there's definitely people that are selling them. But hopefully, fingers crossed, that they do well for me, and we have some liquid fertilizer for my spring and summer, because their liquid fertilizer is so strong that you actually have to dilute it. It's that good. It really helps my plants and I do miss it. That's the reason why I decided to do it again, and because fertilizer and everything, the cost of living, cost of everything, absolutely everything has gone up. This is a cheap alternative if you're looking for something cheaper for the garden. If you don't have chickens, which I don't, I'd love to have chickens, but worm farming also can give you fertilizer. So fingers crossed, let's see if I can keep these guys alive. But yeah, I'll take you along with me for their first feeding and keep you regularly updated. As well as the toilet rolls, I'm going to cut up this egg carton as well. As well as cardboard, you can also put any scraps of food in, so avocado, I've got this disgusting looking capsicum pepper. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut them up very small and then just put them into here as well. Pretty much anything that you put into a compost bin can also go in your worm farm. So you can't put any onion or any citrus into your worm farm either. Okay, so some capsicum in there. Last thing I'm going to add are these eggshells. I'm going to crush them up really finely because they're obviously very sharp for worms, and I'm going to pop this in as well. got my broccoli. I'm also going to add this broccoli into the mix. Okay, excuse the lighting everyone. I've just come home from work. It's like past 5 and it's pretty dark. But look what we've got ready for the worms. I have collected some food for them. And now, well, this is my first time checking up on them since we put them in 2 days ago. So hopefully, fingers crossed, everything is okay. So I get to feed them. But I'll show you guys how it's looking. So this is a good sign. There's no worms in the bucket. I still don't know if it's opened or closed. Let's just open this. Hopefully they're all in there. Oh, looking promising. Is there any on the sides? Nope. That's a good sign. It's looking a tiny bit dry, so I might water the top layer just a tiny bit. Can I see any worms? Nope. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pop some of the scraps on the tops of them. We'll just sprinkle some on. I'm just going to give them like a little bit for now because they're still settling into their home and they still eat like the peat moss that we gave them as well. So I'm going to give them that amount and just see how they do. And hopefully they start to eat it. Fingers crossed.